Welcome to the Total Boss Podcast, and I'm your host, Christiano Green, a podcast where we talk about finding fulfillment through self-development, being a leader of your own life, and getting the most out of it as well. Tenacity, originality, talent, authenticity, and being legendary. It's all about living your best life. Hello, all you total bosses out there, and welcome to another episode of the Total Boss Podcast. Now, I am your host, Christiano Green, and I am a relationship coach for gay men. And I show gay men how to attract and create a healthy, happy, passionate, and loving relationship in their life. Now, I love helping gay men with that. And this last weekend, I just ran my first 3 Relationship Mastery for Gay Men workshop. And so today I'm going to be sharing an excerpt of the session where I really went deep into understanding what the common misconceptions are around gay men and gay male relationships that are actually holding us back from truly being able to find a partner and create the relationship that we want. So take a listen here and enjoy the episode. And I'm sure you're going to get some valuable nuggets out of it today. Let's get into it. Misconceptions gay men face when looking for love. Now, number one is that we know how to be in male and male relationships, right? That's a massive misconception because, first of all, there isn't many, if any, people that you can have as a role model for a healthy, passionate, loving gay relationship, especially depending on your age. The further you go back, the less likely you are to really have someone or something that you can look forward to actually understand and model, right? Now, we don't want to model, a specific relationship, but we want to look at other people's relationships and be able to model the qualities that we want. So struggling and not being able to have a role model means that it's difficult for us to even sometimes understand what it's like to be in a gay male relationship, right? And when we have that struggle or not have that full understanding of it, then it's hard for us to sometimes depict and actually put the effort in to actually move forward and create that relationship for ourselves. Number 2 is that we can't have monogamous, long-lasting relationships. Now, a lot of people out there believe that gay men cannot be monogamous, that they want to be in open relationships, that, most people just want us, that we're all just wanting sex out of love and relationships. Whereas in reality, when you look at statistics that they have been able to do over the last short period of time, that gay relationships are actually more likely to stay monogamous than straight, but oftentimes depending on your understanding or what you relate to, because again, if we're meeting people online or like Jason said, who are looking for people who just want to be a third, we might start to have the misconception that, is it possible for us to even have a monogamous, long-lasting relationship? And so again, this is where sometimes we can get into the beliefs because of the things the experiences that we've had. It's common as well, again, for gay men to have monogamous, long-lasting relationships, but it might just not be the things that you have been able to see or relate to. Because again, even the things that we have that are in entertainment or media, etc., over time, we've seen them depicted gay relationships or gay men in certain ways. So again, these are the ways that we can have these misconceptions that sometimes have been put on us from the straight community, the straight view of us. Now, another one is that we need to go into relationships to fix ourselves. Now, obviously, when you go into a relationship, your partner is always going to be one of your biggest teachers that you have in life, right? They're going to show you the things that come up that, maybe you need to work on, that you need to improve upon within yourself. But in order to get to a place where you attract a partner that is what you're looking for, maybe that's, like I said, healthy, passionate, loving, we need to actually focus on getting that within ourselves first. So the most important relationship that we ever need to work on and build and fix and actually do that is the relationship that we have with ourselves. Because again, if we have those beliefs that, I'm not going to find someone that people are my age are unavailable, that I'm not going to be able to find love, or that I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy enough, what will happen is you'll start to attract people that show that to yourself. Now, if you think about it, if you're really looking for someone who is healthy, who is happy, who is focused, who wants all the things in life, and I want you to start to think about some of the things that you want out of a relationship. If you really look at the ideal person that you are looking for, if you even know that, what I want you to look at is go, if I was that person, would I want to be in a relationship with who I am right now? Because oftentimes people who are healthy, who are happy, who are fulfilled, who are moving forward in their life will often, like I said, want to find someone who also is healthy, who is also happy, who is also focused on moving forward in their life. Healthy people don't want to get into relationships to fix other people, right? So getting to a place to understand the type of relationship that you want, you have to start looking in the mirror and saying, am I actually a match to that? What do I need to do to get to a place that I can be? Because if I'm attracting things that, that I'm seeing all the time that may be unavailable or whatnot, is there a part of me that's also showing up with walls up, that I'm not fully available, right? Because that'll be the part that you need to start to figure out, how do I make a shift? How to make a change as well? Next one is that sex is the most important part of relationships. Now, again, if you're someone who looks online and you'll find people that think that I need to get in a relationship so I can have sex. So there's a lot of people out there who have that belief. Now, what I can tell you is that in reality, just like most relationships, sex is a part of it, but people are really looking, when they're looking to move into away from loneliness, people aren't looking for sex, they're looking for intimacy, connection, right? And oftentimes people think for them to get that their vehicle is through sex. And those people who, again, end up getting into the level of addiction where it comes to sex, they're really at the deeper level looking for intimacy and connection, but obviously feeling like that's the vehicle is sex. And again, it becomes a web, a cycle, which then can lead into very unhealthy habits, right? So thinking that sex is the most important part of relationships is actually going to be something that is going to hold us back from taking our own idea of relationships and creating that to a different level. So having to really work through and get to the notion of, again, what is the type of relationship that I am looking for? What are the qualities in the person that I am looking for? And am I showing up as that as well? Am I showing up available to someone? Am I showing up able to be intimate and to not have walls up, to be able to see that person for who they are instead of through all the filters that we have, right? Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have understood the concept of wearing masks and having walls up, right? If we look through our life, we'll find that maybe, growing up as a gay man, as a child, maybe we had struggles with our family, right? When you have struggles with a family, what might happen is you might put a mask on. I need to be able to show up as someone else for me to get through and for my family to love me. You put a mask on. When you start going into school and maybe you start to get bullied or start to be picked on, you might start to put another mask on because, again, you want to fit in. You want to be liked. You don't want to be bullied. So you put on another mask. Maybe when you start to get to a place of feeling like, okay, when am I ever going to come out? You start to put on another mask. When you start dating, you put another mask. You have relationship traumas or dating traumas, you put on another mask to protect yourself. It's normal. If you start to realize that maybe you're walking around with all these masks on and you go and date people who are also walking around with all these masks on, it's really hard for you to be able to connect, because how can you connect to truly someone who's wearing all these masks? What is the thing that needs to happen for you to start to realize that if I was able to take off each of these masks by working through the stuff of the past, right? The traumas that have happened in your life. The experience of a gay man creates a lot of trauma. And as we know, like I said, from the numbers, 50% deal with depression, 60% anxiety, right? 1 in 3 will have addiction issues, 70% deal with loneliness. When you have some of that stuff that you're dealing with and you're wearing those masks, your filter of what you're trying to attract is also filtered through the masks that we are wearing. So in order for you to find really what you're looking for and how to become that, it's about understanding, how do I start to take off the masks? How do I step into the person that I need to be and want to be in order for me to get what I really want, which is love? And in order for me to do that, I need to start unlayering the masks and really figuring out that, hey, if I can love me, then I can attract that as well. So taking off the mask will be super important, which is an important part of that as well. Another thing is that all gay men are superficial and only care about image and whatnot. And if we're focused on that, because again, through the experience that I know that I've had and many other have, is that, again, if we're looking online and we go on the apps, again, your first perception of people is all about the image, right? And if we focus on that, and that's the image that we have and that we focus on, then again, we are also seeing that we will be seen that way as well. So again, as we know, a lot of people in the gay community focus solely on their image because they want to attract other men who are sexy and this and that. But again, we realize that, yes, that's great. That could be something that you really want. But then what happens below that if you're only focused on the image? Are you really allowing people to see who you are, connect to you? Or are you showing someone that you want them to see because you don't fully feel 100% comfortable and congruent and happy with that person? So you're putting on another mask by saying, I need this. I need to look like this for people to love me, or for people to connect to me, or for people to see me as something not, right? Because again, if we spend so much of our life feeling less than because of the experience we've had within society, within our families, that can lead to that superficial stuff. Now, again, it doesn't all have to be about your image, but again, there's a thing within our community that focuses on success and achievement, and I need to be working harder and harder to be up here just to be seen as equal. So if I'm up on that level where I need to be the best, right? I need to be the best at what I'm doing work-wise so that people don't focus on the gay part. These are some of the perceptions that gay men have. So they focus on, I need to be at the top of my career. I need to have the perfect body. I need to have this, and this, and this. I have all these criteria for what they need for other people to accept them. Those will be the things that hold you back from truly connecting and finding someone that you can have. Because again, if we're in that level that we need all these things, we're going to attract other people who are like that. And then again, there's going to be the masks on. There's going to be the layers on here that truly, again, hold us back from truly being able to connect to the people that we want to start to date as well. Another misconception, that just because we're gay means we're a match. I don't know if you have had this with friends that are straight or whatnot that say, oh my God, I've got a gay friend. I think you would be great together. And it just be because that you are gay and they're gay that you're going to be a match, right? Now, I've had that multiple times with many people in my life that they said, oh, I've got a gay friend, right? As you probably can be aware of. And we all know that that's just not going to be the case. So being part of a sexuality, being part of a culture, being part of anything doesn't mean that you are going to be a match. So again, it's about really understanding that those are some of the misconceptions that other people outside of us think. I was speaking to another coach who's also a relationship coach who actually just coaches women, and she had no idea about any of this stuff. And she again was one of the people that said, oh, I've got a lot of gay friends that are looking for love. Maybe they could just turn up and meet someone. And she thought that coming to an event like this was a way that they were just going to meet a partner. Now, that could be, you might connect to someone here, but coming here today isn't about finding someone in this room who could be your partner. It's about understanding what is it that you need to do in order for you to get to the place for you to create and attract that relationship that you want, right? Because again, every person here has a different model, has a different vision of the kind of relationship that they want. It's just that not all of us are currently a match to that relationship, right? Another common misconception that we have is that there is always going to be a male and a female in the relationship, a masculine and a feminine, right? Now, we probably as gay men know this more than most, that there's always going to be a polarity. We all have masculine and feminine energy within us, right? Now, that doesn't mean that we are always going to be dating someone who is the opposite of us, right? Oftentimes, as gay men, we might find that there will be two masculine men together. There might be two feminine men in relationships. It doesn't have to be that way. And that's why it can be harder as well, because sometimes, you know, with the masculine and the feminine, there's sometimes a dance. But if you've got other relationships where there is too heavily on one side, it can cause issues and problems. So it's not about saying I don't want to be attracted to X, Y, Z, you know, masculine or feminine. It's about going, is like we all know the term mask for mask, right? Is connecting to someone based on them being masculine or feminine really something that's holding you back from really trying to find the type of relationship that you were looking for? If we focus on exactly meet these criteria, because again, in the gay world, if you, as you would know online, that people would say things like no fats, no femmes, no Asians, mask for mask, right? No femboys, all of those things that people have, right? There's all these labels that people put on that. Those are the things that will hold us back from connecting and finding the type of relationship we want. Because if we have to put everything into a box of how it needs to be, there's going to be problems, because we're looking for things to be something perfect for us. And then we get disappointed when someone can't live up to the expectations that we've built in our head around exactly what someone needs to be. So what we need to try to focus on is trading our expectations for appreciation. Appreciate what qualities within other people that you like, instead of expecting someone to be all the things that you need them to be. If you could start giving yourself a lot of the things that you needed when you're looking for a relationship, you wouldn't be needing other people to fulfill so many things for you. So it's also about really understanding, how do I meet my needs in a healthy, resourceful way instead of unresourceful ways? And unresourceful ways is oftentimes looking externally for those needs to be met. Now, we have all got 6 core human needs that all humans live by. We've got certainty, uncertainty, which is variety. We've got significance, love and connection, and then growth, and finally contribution. If people are looking for significance from a relationship, meaning I would need to be, if I'm in a relationship, that means I'm important, then there's going to be a lot of ways that show up that you're not feeling important. But if you can give yourself significance in who you are as a person, what will happen is you're not going to be attracting that insignificance from a relationship. If you can get certainty in yourself, you're not going to be looking for certainty from your partner. As much as you will build that when you attract it from yourself, you won't be necessarily going, I need this, this, and this. I don't have to have 65 things on my list that I need to tick off in order for me to be in the type of relationship that I want. So finally, another common misconception is that two lonely people isn't going to create a happy relationship. Again, we talked about all of the masks that people wear, and there's so many that come from so many different situations that we've been in, especially as gay men. If we are lonely, we are wearing a lot of those masks. We're not showing up as who we truly are. There's a loneliness that we have because we're not really willing to go in and work on some of those things. If we go into a relationship, what will happen is, if we're all these masks, our partner is our biggest teacher, what's going to happen is we're going to see all these things that probably trigger us, which then will stop us from probably going further in the relationship. Now, if you're unhappy and lonely and you get in a relationship with another person who's unhappy and lonely, what will happen is you'll trigger each other. And then you oftentimes will realize that if this is the feeling I'm getting from this relationship, then I don't want it. And we'll project how we feel about ourselves onto the other person. And if we're projecting how we feel about ourselves onto the other person, then that relationship's probably not going to move forward, right? And it's probably not the relationship maybe that we're looking for or wanting. So in order for us to, again, work on and attract it, we need to figure out within ourselves, what are some of the things that I need to resolve? What are some of the things in my past that if I was able to work through, if I was able to move forward and actually get to that place, how would I be acting? How would I be showing up? How would I be living in this world when I was able to do that? So these are some of the common misconceptions that we face here. And I'd love to. Hey guys, welcome back. I trust that you got some valuable understanding and awareness about these common misconceptions that we have relating to gay men in relationships and dating as well. So from here, really it's all about asking yourself, where do you see yourself in these common misconceptions, and how have they, held you back from really finding love and creating the relationship that you deserve and want in your life? And when you'll be able to do that, it's about figuring out what's the next step for you to take in order for you to resolve that, so you can move forward and create a happy, healthy, fulfilling, passionate, loving relationship with yourself first, and then be able to actually emulate that and attract it into your life in the form of the partner. All right, guys, as you know, I always love hearing from you. So if you've got any questions, you've got any comments, you've got any feedback, feel free to comment below or reach out to me on social media and share with me your thoughts, because I love hearing where you are at. All right, guys, I'll leave it there. I'll catch you next week. And always remember that you've got this and I've got you.